So, trying to be in the holiday spirit while I frustrate myself over not being thorough enough in my setup. I set this stream up over an hour ago to be ready at 9, right? So I go off and do my other stuff. I come back and it's like, oh, Facebook had a problem, didn't load anything. So I got to start this on the end. So I'm sorry for the short notice, everybody. That's just again me clicking, seeing it load, and go, all right, we're good to go. Head on out, and then don't always assume that everything is going to be great and just work, because it doesn't and it won't. But whether it's working or not, I'm here. You're here, and welcome to the show. Welcome to my channel here, A Flawed Man of God. I am the host, and this is what I provide. I provide a space. I provide a channel, a place that you can relax and just talk about what's on your mind regarding faith, regarding your Christianity, questions, thoughts, opinions on things in a very informal and casual setting, right? This is not a place where you're going to this is not a place where we're interested in debate. It's not a place where we're going to fight about whose denomination or tradition or doctrine is correct. You can give an opinion, I give mine, but we're not back and forth on this, right? It's a place where you can just gather, and be brothers and sisters in Christ. And what we're doing right now is we're going through a project where we're reading through the Bible a couple of times or a couple of chapters a night, and we're going through the very short book of Lamentations this evening. We started a couple of nights ago, and we'll probably finish tomorrow night with a short stream on chapter 5. But we're going from Genesis to Revelation, and just giving thoughts and feelings on this. And the dichotomy, and we'll get into the timing of running into Lamentations at Christmas time in a moment. But really what I just want to let you know is this is not just a channel for me to give my opinion and talk at you. This is your opportunity to share your opinion, to be comment. We're a small channel, small enough, obviously, that if you've got something to say, you need to put it in that chat box. I'm going to read it and respond to it. And it's something that I want to encourage. I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to discourage you from chatting at all. You help make this show better with your commentary. So please put it out there. And if not, and you just want to listen along while we read and while we talk about it, perfectly fine. But I always want you to feel like if you've got something to say and you were able to say it, please do. Please do. Because that's what this space is all about. So, with that said, oh yeah, my final disclaimer. Not a professional. Okay? I'm not I didn't go to seminary, not a pastor or a biblical scholar, right? Just a cradle Christian, been one all my life, 42 years, and I give you my insights on what I've learned over that time. Many mistakes, triumphs as well, and just living life with that reality. So, with that said, we'll get into the show. Like I said, we're in Lamentations. We're going to do chapters 3 and 4 tonight. We're doing chapters 3 and 4 of 5 total chapters. And you think, Lamentations, right? Way to be in the holiday spirit, Stuart. Yeah, I get it. It is a sad book, because you're reading what we're doing is we're reading through the writings of people who are sitting in the wake of a terrible thing that's happened. Now, we can talk about whether it was avoidable or not, and I'll point you to Jeremiah. I'll point you to Isaiah. I'll point you to every time God had one of his guys warn the people, don't forget me. Don't disobey me. Don't become a culture so just bankrupt of faith. Don't become a place that doesn't represent me in any capacity. And they already had one example of Israel, right? Because at this point, the promised land, Israel as we know it, the kingdom of Israel had split into two, Israel and Judah. Israel had already been conquered. And Judah was sitting there, and we've just spent the last, year or so? Let me go back here. How long have we been doing that? How long have we been between Jeremiah and Isaiah? How long have we been? Since April 1st of this year. We have been in these books of prophecy. And only this week are we seeing kind of the immediate after effect of what has happened. We have a nation destroyed. Two nations, really. We have a place that is supposed to be a place that was set aside for God's chosen people, set on fire by God himself through the Babylonians. And these people who were so confident in this covenant that they wouldn't be held accountable, that after years, decades, centuries even of warnings, they ignored it. They just decided they were going to do what they wanted to do. When their neighbors fell, they didn't listen. They ignored it. For some reason, we can't figure things out. Now, the funny thing is, my son and I watched Men in Black for the first time. Well, I'd watched it before, but my son watched it for the first time with me. And there's a great line by Tommy Lee Jones in there, near the beginning, where it's like, people are smart. Will Smith's character says people are smart, and Tommy Lee Jones's character says, no, a person is smart. People are dumb, easily frightened. They become a mob. They can't handle things. And what we really see with Israel is that the more they succumb to their baser urges and temptations, the more that they just convince themselves that it's okay. And we can shake our fists at them and go like, you idiots, how do you do something like that? How dare you disrespect God about that, like that? Look at what's happening in our own churches. Much less what's going on with society. Look at what we're being told we need to compromise on. Look at all the revisionist history going on. Just being convinced. Well, Jesus came and put it this way. We look at the Israelites. God came in and gave this covenant, right? And we're the chosen people. He's not going to abandon us. He's got that agreement. He's got to have. Do what I want. I'm set. Now, let's bring that to present day. No, well, Jesus came and died for my sins. I can do whatever I want. He did this thing already. I'm saved. I'm good. Right? I don't have to change who I am. God made me this way. Right? You just have to love me and you have to accept my decisions and not criticize me. Right? That's what we see. That's what we see throughout not all churches, but many churches, a lot of mainline denominations. We see Catholicism, not Catholicism as a structure, but a lot of Catholics within the Catholic Church. Oh, well, we got to change it. And the interesting thing that the one thing that I'm interested in seeing, and whenever I get Christian Mario back on here to talk to him about his change to orthodoxy, and maybe Thaddeus Patrick, who was giving me pointers on my last stream. As orthodoxy, if orthodoxy continues to grow in the U.S., as they keep telling me, the online guys keep telling me they are, which is, look, you bringing in new believers, great. But as it becomes more popular and then grows within the nation, how is the Orthodox Church going to handle the outside cultural pressures pressing down on them to accept the things that they want to do? And are they going to police that well? Are they going to gatekeep, or are they going to capitulate? And my assumption, my guess is it's going to be a little column A, little column B, like it is for everybody else. Right? Because you're going to get people in there for whatever their motivations are, but willing to compromise on principles. And the sad thing is, you're not compromising on your own principles. You're compromising on what God's principles are. And that's a very worrisome thing. However, we already know that God wins at the end, but I just mourn the people who are led astray. I mourn the people who just refuse to accept Christ. I mourn the people who just, I guess, revel in become the sin that they want most. Just completely given over to the world. I don't want to see that. And I know y'all don't want to see this. And that's let that set the tone for Lamentations. So Lamentations is the end of the end of the conquering and raising of Jerusalem. And so we read through the first two chapters. So now we're going to read through the next two chapters, chapters 3 and 4, as we look through to finish this pretty quickly. And then we're going to go into Ezekiel, Daniel, and Hosea. These are 3 books that I am very, very excited to share with you guys. But we're doing our due diligence here, because a lot of people skip over Lamentations because it just sounds sad to begin with. As the other Paul said, it's so Jover. It's so Jover, guys. That's what Lamentations is basically saying. We had a good run. God has forsaken us. All right. Lamentations, chapter 3. Jeremiah shares Israel's affliction. I am Jeremiah, the man who has seen affliction because of the rod of his wrath. He has led me and made me walk in darkness and not in light. Surely he has turned his hand against me repeatedly all the day. He has caused my flesh and my skin to waste away. He has shattered my bones. He has besieged and surrounded me with bitterness and hardship. He has made me live in dark places like those who have long been dead. He walled me in so I cannot get out. He has weighted down my chain. Even when I cry out and shout for help, he shuts out my prayer. He has blocked my ways with cut stone. He has made my paths crooked. He is to me like a bear lying in wait and like a lion hiding in secret places. He has turned aside my ways and torn me in pieces. He has made me desolate. He has bent his bow and set me as a target for the arrow. He has caused the arrows of his quiver to enter my inner parts. I have become the object of ridicule to all my people and the subject of their mocking all the day. In the subject of their mocking song all the day. He has filled me with bitterness. He has made me drunk with wormwood and bitterness. He has broken my teeth with gravel. He has covered me with ashes and made me cower in the dust. My soul has been cast far away from peace. I have forgotten happiness. So I say, my strength has perished, and so has my hope and expectation from the Lord. Yeah, pretty dour, right? And we see Jeremiah, and I don't know if any of the footnotes talk about. No footnotes. Got a lot of verses though. So is this the Jeremiah? Kind of sounds like it. I don't know if it is or not, but it kind of sounds like it because he sounds like he's talking as somebody who's, he's saying he's ridiculed by his people. And Jeremiah had already undergone much of that because he was saying, now he was speaking the truth and he was warning everybody. Nobody wanted to hear it. Everybody wanted to clown him. And so now everybody's probably mad because he was right. Nobody likes to know it all when it's tragedy, right? Everybody likes him when something good happens. Now, it's tragic because if they'd listened to him, they would have been fine. But now he's a reminder of all the things that they could have done right, but instead chose to do wrong. So that's why I said it sounds like Jeremiah. I could be wrong. Maybe somebody's saying this from his perspective. I don't know. But he's talking about walk in darkness. His hand's against me. He's talking about his bones are broken. His flesh and skin are wasting away. Bitterness, hardship. I mean, these are the words we're pulling out of dark places. People just like those who've been long dead, walled in, can't get out, weighted down, shuts out my prayer, blocked my ways. Paths are crooked. He compares God to a bear lying in wait and a lion hiding in secret places. Now he's a predator, desolate, shooting him with an arrow into his inner parts, right? Filled me with bitterness. Broken teeth. I can relate to that right now. Got a broken tooth right now. This feels like rock bottom. And for Jerusalem, for Judah, for Israel, for the promised land, for God's people, it is. It is. They were probably in better shape under Egyptian rule. Instead, now they're scattered. Instead, now they're humiliated because they were this great nation and now just wiped away. And these people left in the wake of it, it's not just broken homes. It's not just their town's gone, but the people been carried off. They talk about famine, disease. Already they've seen the horrors of war, right? And war is a horrific thing to see up close. And when you take away bullets do damage, but swords and arrows, there's more of it feels more personal. It's definitely up close, and it certainly is bloody. And it's not just soldiers, it's not just men, but you have the elderly, you have women, you have children, all put to the sword. And probably left there. And then after that, we see that the people gather around, and what happens after that? They've got a leader, somebody to rally behind, and that guy gets killed. Gets murdered. Not just killed, he gets murdered by somebody close to him. It's hard to put a positive spin on this. Obviously, everybody's depressed, and it feels like God is against them. And you know why? Because God is against them. He said he'd been telling them that he was going to be against them. Now, not forever, because if they listened to Jeremiah, but which they didn't. But if they had listened to Jeremiah, they'd know that God was going to come back and restore them. But a punishment had to be dealt out. And before that happens, they say, let's go to Egypt. And God says, you don't want to do that. Stay here. If you stay here, things will be good for you. No, we're going to do what we want. We're not going to listen to Jeremiah. We're going to call him a liar, and we're going to go do what we wanted to do in the first place. Okay, good job. And so this is just feeding on itself, right? They can't help but feel sorry for themselves. And if this was written by Jeremiah, then he certainly has been through it. All right. Hope of relief in God's mercy. Remember, O Lord, my affliction and my wandering, the wormwood and the gall, bitterness. My soul continually remembers them and is bowed down within me. But this I call to mind, therefore I have hope. It is because of the Lord's loving kindness that we are not consumed, because his tender compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great and beyond measure is your faithfulness. The Lord is my portion and my inheritance, says my soul. Therefore I have hope in him and wait expectantly for him. The Lord is good to those who wait confidently for him, to those who seek him on the authority of God's word. It is good that one waits quietly for the salvation of the Lord. It is good for a man that he should bear the yoke of godly discipline in his youth. Let him sit alone in hope and keep quiet, because God has laid it on him for his benefit. Let him put in his mouth in the dust in recognition of his unworthiness. There may yet be hope. Let him give his cheek to the one who strikes him. Let him be filled with reproach, for the Lord will not reject forever. For if he causes grief, then he will have compassion, according to his abundant loving kindness and tender mercy. For he does not afflict willingly and from his heart, or grieve the children of men, to trample and crush under his feet all the prisoners of the land, to deprive a man of justice in the presence of the Most High, to defraud a man in his lawsuit. The Lord does not approve of these things. Who is there who speaks and it comes to pass, unless the Lord has authorized and commanded it? Is it not from the mouth of the Most High that both adversity, misfortune, and good prosperity and happiness proceed? Why should any living mortal or any man complain of punishment in view of his sins? Let us test and examine our ways, and let us return to the Lord. Let us lift up our hearts and our hands in prayer towards God in heaven. We have transgressed and rebelled. You have not pardoned. You have covered yourself with anger and pursued us. You have slain without pity and have not spared. You have covered yourself with a cloud so that no prayer can pass through. You have made us scum and refuse among the peoples, Gentile nations. All our enemies have gaped at us. Panic and pitfalls, traps, danger have come on us. Devastation and destruction. My eyes overflow with streams of tears because of the destruction of the daughter of my people, Jerusalem. My eyes overflow unceasingly, without stopping, until the Lord looks down and sees from heaven. My eyes see things that bring pain to my soul because of all the daughters of my city. Without cause, my enemies hunted me down like a bird. They silenced me in the pit and placed a stone over me. The waters ran down on my head, and I am cut off And I said, I am cut off, destroyed. Called on your name, O Lord, out of the lowest pit. You have heard my voice. Do not hide your ear from my prayer or for relief, from my cry for help. You drew near on the day I called to you. You said, do not fear. O Lord, you have pleaded my soul's cause. You have guided my way and protected me. You have rescued and redeemed my life. You, O Lord, you have seen the wrong done to me. Judge my case. You have seen all their vengeance, all their schemes against me. You have heard their reproach, O Lord, and all their schemes against me. The lips and whispering of my assailants are against me all day long. Look at their sitting and their rising, their actions and their secret counsels. I am their mocking song, the subject of their ridicule. You will repay them, O Lord, according to the work of their hands. You will harden their hearts. Your curse will be upon them. You will pursue them in anger and destroy them from under the heavens of the Lord. Woo! That was a lot on that part. So we see a fair amount going on in here. Hope and relief of God's mercy. And it really starts out that way, right? And it's like, look, I'm bitter and everything. But again, like Jeremiah said, things are going to be bad. Punishment's going to happen. You know, nobody likes being punished. But there's also compassion during, but probably not felt until afterwards. But God's got compassion on them the whole time. He knows the whole reason that he's doing this is because it's a punishment they need. And so it happens. And so they look for hope. And he remembers, the Lord is my portion and my inheritance. Great and beyond measure is your faithfulness. I love this part right here where he goes, those who wait confidently for him, those who have faith, right? Those who seek him on the authority of God's word, people who have faith. Talks about waiting quietly, having patience, shutting up, maybe acting with some humility. The discipline, godly discipline is good. And then it comes here. He goes, if he causes grief, he will have compassion. If you get affliction, he doesn't do it willingly or from his heart. He doesn't want to crush and trample people. He doesn't love injustice. Quite the opposite. But this is the world that we allowed with sin, with letting sin enter the world. And God is having us deal with that. Now, towards the end, he talks about, it really sounds like Jeremiah's time in the well, which was probably, understandably, pretty traumatic. I'm sure he's pretty upset about it. But and maybe this isn't it, but it really does sound like he said he was thrown in a pit. He's got enemies all around him. He's speaking those imprecatory prayers. And there you have it. What's going on, Jenny? Glad to see you here. All right, moving on to chapter 4. Distress of the siege described. Okay, so a little bit in the moment, right? The stress of the siege described. How dark and dim the gold has become. How the pure gold has changed. The sacred stones of the temple are poured out and scattered at the head of every street. The noble and precious sons of Zion, once worth their weight in fine gold, how they are regarded merely as earthen jars, the work of a potter's hands. Even the jackals offer the breast. They nurse their young, but the daughter of my people has become cruel, like ostriches in the wilderness that desert their young. The tongue of the infant clings to the roof of its mouth because of thirst. The little ones ask for food, but no one gives it to them. Those who feasted on delicacies are perishing in the street. Those reared in purple as nobles embrace ash heaps. For the punishment of the wickedness of the daughter of my people Jerusalem is greater than the punishment of the sin of Sodom. which was overthrown in a moment, and no hands were turned toward her to offer help. Her princes were purer than snow. They were whiter than milk in appearance. They were more ruddy in body than rubies. Their polishing was like lapis lazuli sapphire. Their appearance is now blacker than soot because of their prolonged famine. They are not recognized in the streets. Their skin clings to their bones. It is withered, and it has become dry like wood. Those killed with sword are more fortunate than those killed with hunger. For the hungry pine and ebb away for the lack of the fruits of the field. The hands of compassionate women boil their own children. They become food for them because of the destruction of the daughter of my people Judah. The Lord has fulfilled his wrath. He's poured out his fierce anger and has kindled a fire in Zion that has consumed her foundations. The kings of the earth did not believe, nor did any of the inhabitants of the earth, that the adversary, oppressor, and enemy could enter the gates of Jerusalem. Because of the sins of her counterfeit prophets and the wickedness of her unfaithful priest, who have shed in her midst the blood of the just and righteous, they wandered blind in the streets. They were defiled with blood, so that no one could touch their garments. People cried to them, "Go away, unclean, depart, depart, do not touch." So they fled. Then they wandered as fugitives. People among the nations said, "They shall not stay here any longer with us." The presence of the Lord scattered them among the nations. He will not continue to look after them. They did not honor the priests. They did not favor the elders. And as for us, yet our eyes failed, looking in vain for help. Watching from the towers, we watched for a nation that could not save. The enemy hunted our steps so that we could not walk in our streets. Our end drew near. Our days were finished, for our end had come. Our pursuers were swifter than the eagles of the sky. They pursued us on the mountains. They waited in ambush for us in the wilderness. The breath of our nostrils, the anointed of the Lord our King, was captured in their snares. He of whom we had said, "Under his shadow we shall live among the nations." Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, who lives in the land of Uz. But the cup of the wine of God's wrath will pass to you as well. You will become drunk and make yourself naked. The punishment of your sin has been completed, O daughter of Zion. The Lord will no longer send you into exile, but he will punish your sin, O daughter of Edom. He will expose your sins. Well, I don't know if any of you guys understand. I've never been through it. I don't think any of us can grasp the desperation that has on a severe siege. Especially one where the leaders still at least have more than what the people in the streets do and are more willing to ride it out. But we see children, infants dying of thirst, children dying of hunger, women cooking their kids to eat them. I would rather die. In fact, one of the most telling parts here is those who died by the sword. Those were the blessed ones, or the more fortunate ones. And I agree. If you ask me, would I rather be run through with a sword or die of hunger or thirst, or even see my kids waste away? I'll take the sword all day long. Sieges, and I'm assuming especially back then, are nasty things. And hunger can bring out the worst in people. And I think we've seen from things like the Donner Party, right? If you see some of the, if you read some of the accounts from the siege at Vicksburg during the Civil War, it's not fun. It's not a good place to be. And so the accounts here really show about they really show the hopelessness, the despair coming from them. We were once strong, and now we have been made very weak and very vulnerable. And those who were rich, they got nothing now. You can't eat your money. You can't eat your fine clothes. All those all those nice feasts you used to have, that food doesn't last forever. And at the end, they talk about how nobody wants them, and how they sounds like they're being mocked by the Edomites. And they say, "Well, hey, look, your time's coming too. Just you wait, because we know Israel was the first, Judah was second, and then everybody else was getting it until it was Babylon's turn." There's not much here that doesn't apply with what we said Monday night. This is an awful place to be. This is the people who have been living underneath the umbrella of the blessing of the Lord and now are experiencing what life is like without that. And they are despondent. So there you go. That's our reading tonight. Very quick. Lamentations 5. Very quick. So so tomorrow night's stream should be pretty quick. And it really opens your eye. And Jenny says it really opens your eyes. And for me, it hurts my heart. Yeah. You feel really shows the compassion, though, right? You feel for these people, even though we've just, like I said, we've just spent all this time since April talking about the warnings to Israel, to Judah from God, saying, stop this. You're doing awful things. And Jeremiah, in the moment, right before it happened, and just telling him this stuff is going to happen, and still having to see it. And you're frustrated at the leaders, you're frustrated at the chieftains, the priests, the elders, the men, and some of the women, but the youth and the children and the babies, it feels like they just get caught up in it. And you hate seeing that. That's the worst. It's the worst thing to see. But they were warned. And something had to happen. Something had to break. Something had to be done. So God did it. And there you have it. All right. So, Jenny, my sole person in the chat tonight. That's what I get for not doing good on the build up and the announcement of the stream. I'm sure nobody got their announcements, or we'll be getting them later. So, Jenny, if I don't talk to you before, what do we got? Christmas is next week. Another thing I'm upset about is the Chiefs will not make the playoffs. Look, the real sad thing is I'm not going to, and look, this is me as a Chiefs fan. I'm sad that Mahomes got hurt, right? I am not sad that I am not sad that this is hopefully Travis Kelce's last season. He's been a great player, but at the same time, he hasn't grown up that much. he hasn't matured that much. And it seems like, you know, he is his he is not the player he used to be from a talent aspect. I'm hoping this gets him in better draft position. This will let them reset and figure things out and maybe get some protection for Mahomes for next season. And my hope is they draft Jeremiah Love as a running back, because I think from out of Notre Dame, who I've been so happy to watch the past 2 seasons there. I think that he'll be something special in the NFL. But we'll see. We'll see what everything has to happen. But yeah, just really need to retool that. They need to retool that system. So I agree. He needs to get married, retire, and let the younger get it done. Yeah. Well, I think he's gonna retire. Maybe he comes back next year. Like I said, I'm hoping he doesn't. But as far as the other stuff, I mean, he's gonna have to convince Taylor Swift. First they get, like you said, first they got to get married. Second, they got to get. Second one, they got to have kids. They're not getting any younger. Yeah. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here, Jenny. Always good talking to you. And if I don't see you, if you're not on any of the streams, I don't think I'll be doing Thursday, maybe Monday. Maybe no stream next week. Don't know. Maybe Monday. Merry Christmas. I would rather have. I want to stream Monday now. I'm feeling like I want to stream Monday because I want to make sure that I give everybody plenty of time to, be on here and wish everybody a Merry Christmas. But just you and me here this evening, and Carl was here earlier at least because I know I saw the like button pop up on Facebook. But to you and him and everybody else, really, just Merry Christmas. Enjoy your family and everyone. Yes. Yes. To everybody who has been watching and not in the chat, I want to hear from you, but I'm glad you're here. Quiet or boisterous, don't worry about it. I'm glad you're here. And to everybody catching this on replay, which hopefully you will be, sorry I missed you, but thank you for watching. I hope to catch you live sometime soon. Everybody have a good night and God bless. Oh, that's right. I'm also streaming tomorrow too, so definitely stream tomorrow. Anyway, good night and God bless.